Carolyn, what's on your heart? What's going on?
Well, truthfully, it's not crypto. Honor to you all. That's not my forte
It
at
was
this
time
time.
for us to switch gears,
Yeah.
my ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. We've run that topic out. Let's see what else Yahweh has in
This
store.
will all be on the editing floor anyway, so it's all good. Not worried about it.
Right.
So,
Love you, Jeff.
yeah. So anyway, I press more into enterprise and also real estate. And what I am, guys, when you talk to me, you get testimony. And based on my faith and where Yahweh has been taking me. And so anyway, with the whole real estate thing of which we are involved in right now with, the No Limits Ranch for Colorado, based on something that has happened, really, really great news for my husband. Bill and I, well, no, actually, before I talked to Bill about it, I'm like, wow, I have my early morning times with Yahweh. And so I was up, I said, wow, Yahweh, this is so great for Bill, what's happening with him, where he's at right now, employment wise. I'm like, do we need to pull out of Colorado and just be stationed here in Arkansas because it's so good? I want to honor him in what's happening with his life. And then when I said that, I'm like, I would do that, but I feel like a part of me would be dying if we didn't continue moving forward. So I'm really learning to engage with wisdom. And then when you get wisdom, you get understanding, they go together. They're my sisters. And so Marios does the most incredible teaching on wisdom through all of his things. He talks about wisdom. And so I am embracing wisdom, loving wisdom, keeping wisdom close to me, talking to her like my sister, and then just breathing in deeply and saying, I'm so thankful for you, and meeting with her throughout the day. And so I heard her say to me, Carolyn, Colorado, Arkansas, what do you choose? And I said to her, well, if I could have the desire of my heart, I would want both. And she said, you can have both. And all of a sudden, that which was in my heart as one thing multiplied, and now we have two. So then I took that revelation, that wisdom, to Bill later on when he got home from work. I said, honey, what do you think about this? And he was ecstatic when he agreed on it. And then I'm like, great, now I can press in further for what Yahweh is saying on this. And, I could go on, but the biggest thing for me is with real estate, with enterprise. And I began to see things expanding with Andy's No Limits Art, with Gilded Carriage Art, with No Limits Ranch, the LLC, and now the incorporated, the 501c3, and how, working with CPAs and lawyers. And I'm like, well, I'm a big girl now. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this stuff, having dreams. Now I'm driving the semi, I'm like, wow. And, just the biggest thing for me, y'all, is get wisdom. And when you get wisdom, get understanding. And and it says in there that Yeshua has become to us wisdom, and just entering into that union, and out of that union with us and with Yahweh flows everything that we need. And so out of that union, I hear wisdom. So I'm like, I know what to do. And I can honestly say, wow, wisdom, Sister Wisdom, this is you. I know what to do. And, things that have just happened that I contacted Marios about. MariosEllenis.com, peeps. I'm telling you what, go to his website, Marios, MariosEllinas.com. Get everything he's got on there.
Right.
And
right.
trade in. And so anyway, of which I've been doing, and I find that the more I'm walking with wisdom, the more I gain understanding, how important it is for relationship in the natural, because she brings, Yahweh brings those relationships that you're talking about, and how to trade in one way or another for the building of those relationships. And because as the foundation is being built, and then you have this coming in over here and this coming in over here, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great, because it's leveraging the relationships now that he's bringing. Because I'm like, I couldn't do this by myself, but with this person coming here and wanting to mentor me, and giving me access, and now I'm a part of this over here, I'm like, oh my gosh. So there's so much more to say, but nutshell, Proverbs, it says, get wisdom, and when you get wisdom, get understanding. And changed my life when I began to engage in Yahweh, in Yeshua, with those beings, with the 7 spirits of God. Just life changer. So that's where I'm at.
So good. So good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Doing anything of what we just talked about earlier, you're like, I'm not into crypto. Do that without wisdom. Do that without understanding. I've done it. Doesn't go well.
I've done it all. I've done all this
Doesn't
too.
go well at all.
But it's a whole lot more fun than engaging above the sun than below. And, just, oh man, just, yeah. Okay. You know me, guys. I could go on a tangent and share testimony, but I'm holding myself back. So time for that. You can all come to my 2 ranches, one in Arkansas and one in Colorado, and we can just talk.
Absolutely.
And then we'll Zoom it, and then it'll go out for all the millions to see. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. In my multi-million-dollar ventures.
That's right.
I've connected with amazing people, and we all share in it.
Love it. That's
Yeah.
our
Inheritance.
Yep.
That's that community treasury.
Yep. Exactly. We need each other. We need each other.
Hey, if you get into the multi-millies and the billies, I don't know where I'll be, but I can help you spend that.
We could join you in that.
Yep. You know what? I just realized. Oh, go. I just realized that, testimony, we always think of the test and the money, but just put money in there. Test and money. It's the same thing. I'm testing I and money. It's that relationship that you're leveraging right there. It's the I is the balance point in there. I would say I as far as I, but also EYE, which is I. So wisdom would be the I. Understanding would be the I. Partnering with you, the I.
Yeah.
To begin to make money. That's the. I think that's why Yeshua had so many, proverbs or parables on finances and money, and it evolves around everything. It's really not about money. It's about the heart. It's really the heart issues, and when you get those heart issues going, then the money begins to work out, and fear is kind of not there anymore because you're doing it and operating in love, because you are love, I am love. And so it's just like, I don't know, that right now, testimony, that's a huge deal. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be holding back from it. Shouldn't be holding back from it, Carolyn. That's why testimony brings joy. Yep. It brings understanding. It brings hope. It brings courage. It also brings wisdom. It allows us, testimonies are not all about successes, but it's about your failures. It's about the rights and the wrongs. It's about the setbacks. It's, we are a living testimony. That's really who we are. And so it's a matter of who you're leveraging in and trading into that is going to bring the profit.
You know, in the word it says that testimonies, Lord, your testimonies are my counselors. So it's like,
Yes.
as a testimony, like, oh my gosh, that hits me. It gives me direction on what to do. Like Andy, my
Yep.
business partner, Andy, it's art.com, says, testimony means do it again, God, do it again. You know, and you, like you were talking about, Paul, you hear someone's testimony, it fires you up on the inside. It gives you joy. It gives you hope. You know, it's like, yes, that just ignited something in me because there's something in that testimony for you.
Yep.
You know, just like I'm sharing this, you know, maybe somebody's interested in some real estate or growing their business or whatnot. And what I have shared ignited something in you. Go for it. You know, it's like, do it again, God, do it again. And whoever that ignited.
Yep.
Isn't that the yod that goes and, you know, that goes and sparks life from that life coming out of our breath that will spark life in others? So that's direction and wisdom for them to go forward in. Just saying.
Just saying.
Boy, you're saying we create it. We create it. We created that spark of, you know, his word never returns void. That's his promise.
Right.
So in reality, we are his spoken word.
Yes.
So in reality, we are his testimony. And in the process, we do it again as sons.
Yes.
And we continue to do it again. So we become creators. We create testimonies ourselves. And, you know, that's really what Yeshua is doing. I'm doing what I see my Father doing. His testimony is my testimony, and my testimony is someone else's testimony. And it really becomes that wheels within the wheels within the wheels. And when that happens, momentum, I mean, you can't stop that. You cannot stop that. And so it just keeps on keeping on. And when you're doing it in a way it's just powerful, and it adds on and adds on and adds on. Whether you're doing it with money, whether you're doing it relationally, whether you're doing it with, you know, just 2 or 3 are gathered, that's the whole concept. 2 or 3 are gathered in his midst, whether it's just one on earth and the rest are cloud of witnesses, the angelic, you know, whoever we're talking about, whether 2 or 3 are in his midst, which we gotta get out of the one-dimensional thinking that we are linear, that we're earthbound. It's just like, no, Yeshua was talking more than just you know, us beings, you know.
Yeah.
Sonship. It's a whole ship. We are, you know, we're on that sonship together. And when we begin to flow and move and have our beings that way, it's such a powerful, I mean, we turn into new creation. I think that's what the new creation and creatures and who we are. And it's just like, who are you? It's who I am. You want to hear my testimony? You want to watch my testimony? I'll tell you about my testimony.
You want to receive
my testimony. Exactly.
Do you want to feel my testimony? Do you want the waters of my testimony to flow power into your life as they flowed into mine?
Come on.
You got to stop thinking of it as a story.
Yep.
As just a narrative. It is physical.
Yes. Come on.
So good.